Today's lesson will be on writing a business letter. So in a previous lesson we learned about writing a friendly letter. Today things will become a little bit more formal. Unlike friendly letters, which are written to someone that you know personally, business letters are usually written to companies, organizations, or business people. Business letters also have different purposes. You might be writing a business letter to apply for a job, ask for information, make complaints, provide information, or to propose something. Some general guidelines for writing a business letter are to try to keep your letter to one page, right? If we think of business people, they're often quite busy, so to keep things succinct, be brief and to the point. Leave at least a 2 centimeter margin on the sides, top, and bottom of the page, so we don't want it to go all the way to the edges. Provide enough white space to ensure that your information does not look crowded, right? Make it visually appealing, it's not too daunting. If you write your letter using a word processing program, type your name under your signature. Be consistent in the size of type or writing you use, and make sure to use proper punctuation in all parts of your letter. There are 3 main types of formats for writing a business letter. So a block format has your return address and the address of the person you are writing it to on the left-hand corner. Then you would have your salutation, dear so-and-so, and as we learned about with colons, this is one of the cases in a business letter where you would use a colon. In a friendly letter, you would use a comma. Then you would have your paragraphs. Notice there's no indentation at the beginning of the paragraph, but you do skip lines in between. You would then have your complimentary closing and your signature. Everything in a block letter is lined up on the far left side. For a modified block, the addresses are put on the top right-hand side instead of the left-hand side. Your salutation and the body of your letter are still lined up with the left-hand margin and there's no indentation, but we do skip lines between paragraphs. Your salutation and closing, however, are centered on your page instead of being tucked to the left margin. A semi-block has the address on the left, salutation on the left, but we indent each of the paragraphs. And then we'd have our salutation and our signature on the left. So the only difference between a semi-block and a block is just that indentation of the paragraphs. For your assignment, you will be allowed to use whatever format you would like. The assignment for today's lesson asks you to write your own business letter using this one as kind of a model or a format, and to write a letter to a summer camp director asking about the camp's programs and facilities. And they ask you to make sure that you outline your background and some of your interests. Now, I will give you the option, if you have another topic or somebody else that you would rather write a business letter to, by all means, go for it. And just make sure that you put it into the same Google document that I'll make available for you to write your business letters in. Before I let you jump in, I'm just going to go through this letter with you so that you can see all the different parts. The first part you need to include is your heading. So this is your address and the date, right? So this would be your personal address and the date that you've written the letter. Now, on some of the formats, we could have it on the left. If you wanted to do a modified block, you could put the address on the right. I'm allowing either format for this activity. The inside address is the name and address of the person you are writing to. So you didn't necessarily include your name for yours, but you do for theirs. And you can once again put this on the right or the left. Then you have your salutation, and you need to make sure you follow it with a colon. Remember, as I said, in a friendly letter, we follow it with a comma, but for this one, we'll follow it with a colon. Dear Mr. Ulysses. So if you want to write to the fake summer camp, you can use the same address and name that they have here. If you're writing to someone else, you can put their information here. And I would like you to try and put, you're allowed to make up a home address so that you don't have your information on Google Documents, okay? Then we have the body. So you're clear and concise, correct, complete, and courteous. All the C's. Okay. This is a semi-block because they have indented their paragraphs. So it's up to you whether you indent or you don't and leave spaces in between. So to get an idea, they start by introducing themselves, and saying where they're going, right? So they have an aunt who lives in Halifax and she works each morning. I'll be on my own and would like to get involved in activities with young people my own age. My aunt suggested that I contact you to see what programs you have planned for the summer. Okay, they're being a little bit independent here. And then they tell a little bit about themselves and what they like. I am 13 years old and very interested in both sports and music. During the past year, I played on several school teams and particularly enjoyed baseball and soccer. For the past 3 years, I've taken trumpet lessons and would really enjoy playing in a band. Recently, my parents gave me a camera for my birthday, so I'd also enjoy a beginner's photography class. And then they kind of say what they're looking for from them. If you would be offering any programs you think I would enjoy, please send me information on how to become involved. Thank you very much for your help. I'm really looking forward to spending July in your city. The complimentary closing is this kind of yours truly or sincerely or respectfully. Use a comma after it and make sure you capitalize the first word, and then we'll have the signature. So you will type your name in, leaving a space for you to actually write your name by hand if you were to print this off and send it as a real letter. As an email, it wouldn't matter if you had a physical signature there, but please do leave the space for it anyways. So there will be a Google document in this assignment for you to write your business letter. Any format is allowed. You can choose to have your addresses to the right or center your signature. You can indent your paragraphs or you can not indent and skip lines in between. There's lots of freedom here. You can choose to write a fake letter to the summer camp, to Mr. Ulysses, or if you have another topic of a business letter you would like to write, that is absolutely acceptable as well. But please make sure this one is a little bit more formal.